Hello everybody, new series time. This is going to be Taff en route, and inside the car on the route to Port Vale. This is going to be the first away game we're going to do this, and to my left we got the one and only Phil Ashcroft, and behind us hiding Leanne and Lucy. Oh, there's Leanne waving. Lucy, you going to give us a wave? Oh, she's shy, camera shy. So me and Phil have been talking about the game on the way up, and we thought we'd share our thoughts with you guys. Phil, you made a statement to me earlier that you feel as if we lose today, then any hope for the playoffs will effectively be gone. So what's the thought behind that then?
Well, basically we're eight points behind now. We lose today, that's 11, depending on what other teams win or lose. I think realistically it's 50-50 now anyway, but football's a funny old game.
Certainly is, isn't it?
And we may, and hopefully, still be in the playoffs. But still a fantastic season we've had.
I mean, if you look at this point last year, we thought we were dead and buried. You know, now, I mean, there's absolutely no talk of relegation, and there's still an outside chance of a playoffs, and we've had a great cup run, haven't we?
Yeah, we didn't realise what was going to happen last year. The whole season was down to one game.
Yep.
But now we've had our excitement. We've been to Wembley. We've won more than we've lost, and it's still 50-50. But I think today is a big major factor of if we can pull 3 points in today and the other teams drop or lose, we're back in it.
Because we started the year so well, didn't we? I mean, we won our opening 3 games 2-1. We unfortunately drew against Morecambe then, but from that point then, that's where everything seemed to have gone wrong. Would you put it down to the cup run?
Fatigue. The cup run has been fantastic for the club financially, but with the small squad we've got and the injuries we've had, plus the sending offs, certain players have played almost every game. Those players have been our better players, but now they're suffering. Don't pick out individuals, but Mickey Demetrius and Ben White, who have been outstanding, of fatigue has caught up with them, and it's only normal, but they still perform now, but not to the high standards what they did at the beginning. Yeah,
obviously another player that's fallen into that bracket as well, obviously, is Frank Newbley. He's been dropped in the last game. Do you think that's a good statement by Flynn?
I love Frank Newbley. I think when he first came to the club, he brought freshness, everything to us. His experience, knowing full well he's had about 30 clubs, jokingly, but I think he feels at home. We made him welcome. I think he's more than happy. But again, he's in his early 30s. He was out of actual playing football before he joined us. He was a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
Again, it's caught up with him, and regardless what the fans think of him, because yes, he has been poor quite a few games, you've got to put that down to the manager, whether he should have been dropped before. And personally myself, I love him, but yeah, he isn't the player he was, and he needs a break. We're going back to the fitness side of it again, fatigue, with the likes of a few other players. They've been so good at the beginning, now they're looking moderate, they're looking not half as good as what they were. And unfortunately, fans look at that and say, well, yeah, he's useless, we get rid of him or whatever. No, they just need a break.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with the club being as it is, we haven't got the playing budget that Michael needed to bring in a few more players. And the bigger clubs like Luton, Notts County, who've got a far better budget and more players, that we are tending to struggle a little bit now, but I still believe that we can, with a result starting today. I think we could still mathematically get into those playoffs.
Yeah, well, they'll start with a win today. I mean, we stopped the rot last week against Notts County, as you know. It was a real boring game. And the last time we played against Port Vale, it was during a period when our attacking was under immense scrutiny. Do you think dropping Newbley will do something for our attacking this time around against this team?
Well, we've got options, haven't we? We've got players there who are busting the gut to get into the side, but they've got to perform.
I mean, we've got Amond, obviously, who's scoring goals still. Newbley has been dropped. Maybe that'll spark, if he does get a start today, that'll spark a better performance from him. Mikulski, if he gets the start, will want to capitalise on that chance because he doesn't want to go back on the bench, really. Paul Hayes is still waiting in the wings, and so is Aaron Collins as well.
Yeah, well, as I say, there's one incident there. We sold a good player from the club, Aaron Collins. Now, the logic in Michael Flynn, and I'm not running him down for it, why has he not been on that pitch? Yeah, he had some loan spells, didn't do fantastically. Is it a confidence thing with him?
Well,
is he not doing it in training? But yeah,
they liked him at Notts County though, didn't they?
Well, they did at first, yeah. But, it's a question on anything. I mean, there's lots of positions where midfield, up front, even in defence, he's swapping the team round now. But should it be done before rather than now?
Yeah.
And you speak and talk to a lot of the fans. A lot of them are saying it should have been done before, not now. And hey, we've had a fantastic season up to now.
Yeah.
And
can't deny that.
I'm not gonna knock Flynn. Yes, he makes mistakes. He's still learning. But we all make mistakes. And
he's still the best manager we've had for about 4 years, though, isn't he?
Well, I actually see somebody put someone on Facebook yesterday that Graham Wesley was talking about our manager, and he was putting it on. He put on there where Michael Flynn is the soul of his soul is Newport County.
Yep.
He's out there painting the lines. He's got the lawnmower out. On the way back in, he's getting the lads' lunch ready. He drives the coach. That's Michael Flynn.
Yeah.
But he's still learning. And
absolutely,
there's no choice about it. Next season will be the season he'll get judged on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Great Escape was immense. I mean, he's obviously led us through the cup run, which has made the club an awful lot of money, and now he's driven us up to a much higher position. So next season, in my opinion, that's when it's whether he can replicate it, or whether he can push on from it. And obviously, we're looking to progress. If he leaves himself a tough comparator for next season, then he may then come under scrutiny. But then if he does finish in, like, say 13th, 14th this season, say we don't go on a great run now, we don't get anywhere near the playoffs, finish 13th, 14th, we can't complain because that's still miles above where we've been the last 2 years. And then next season, there's definitely the room for improvement. And one person I wanted to mention in particular who may get an opportunity now, obviously Josh Labardi is suspended, big blow of course. Josh Sheehan may get an opportunity now. Do you think he'll play an important part next season? Or could he play an important part this season even?
I think he's still got a lot to offer. Again, it's down to Michael Flynn, who plays and whatever. We go out of our way to sign a player who has cost the club a little bit of money. I know it's been subsidised with the supporters club and a mystery man. But again, is he doing it in training? We don't know, and it just gives the supporters who are looking in, why isn't he playing? Why
Match fitness, maybe.
Well, yeah, but he was training with us way before he signed. Only Michael Flynn can answer that, and again, he can't play everybody.
No.
But for the likes of some players who have been playing week in, week out, need a rest. So is there something there saying, no, I can't play them because we don't know, and we don't know what goes on in the changing room, what goes on the training pitch.
Of course.
That's down to Mike Flynn, and as you say, he'll be judged. He won't be judged this season because he's had a fantastic season.
Absolutely.
The club have made money, so next year will be definitely a defining for the club and for Flynn himself, because of what he achieved at the end of last season. Which, let's be fair, we won our last 10 games or something. Something like that.
7, 8 of the last 12 we won.
And we've had a brilliant start. Overshadowed, obviously, because of the cup run. But we needed that cup run because
we need the money,
and
big time.
As people say out there, we're just a small tin pot club. I agree with that, but it's our club. It's the supporters club, and that's the main part of Newport County. It's owned by the fans, and it's a great story.
Absolutely. But going back to the game, obviously, Port Vale, there's one striker I actually didn't mention who's actually come under some unusual praise. It's not a common thing for him. That's Marlon Jackson, of course. He came on and
I forgot about him,
the balls he was winning in the air, putting himself about and making himself a nuisance. The point I always make with Marlon Jackson, because every time he's mentioned, people sort of take the piss, and people obviously don't like him because he didn't really score any goals last season. But he's been backed by 3 different managers. I mean, he was signed by Feeney, he was played by Wesley, and he was played by Flynn, and Flynn wanted to keep him. And there's got to be a reason why. There's got to be something that we've not seen in him yet that week that could just explode on the scene. If Marlon Jackson comes good, could that be a factor in a playoff push?
Yeah, again, I completely forgot about him up till just. I haven't.
He is very much the forgotten man, but he looked really good in pre-season, though, didn't he?
He was. He looked the business. There's a lot of people out there who don't like him. As long as they give 100% and he tries, yes, he's a goal scorer and he's got to score goals like everybody. And if you don't score goals, people will look at you and say, well, he ain't doing it, get somebody else in. But Hammond had a bad start. Hammond. He had a bad start, knocking the goals in now. And Jackson, I would think, would be the same. Last week he played half a game. He won more headers in the air than I've seen most of our football all season.
He's not as tall as Newblade, but I think he's won more headers in that one single game than Newblade's won all season.
I personally like Jackson. I like him as a club man as well. He's approachable. He speaks to you, like most of them do anyway. But on the field, and as I say, in the friendlies, he was outstanding. But friendlies to league football is completely different. He got injured. Obviously, you got to get back to match fitness. His confidence must have been really low. And as with anybody who gets injured, once to get back in the team, it's hard. And it must be hard for him. But again, we're Newport County fans. He's a Newport player, and we should back him, and we should give him the confidence.
Yes,
and I would love him to be playing today.
That's what I've never quite understood the mentality of supporters who openly criticise players. Well, another thing is, I don't even agree with it half the time. The criticism that I get. I remember seeing people shouting at Matt Dolan. And just because they, in their opinion, they felt he didn't have a good game. I mean, obviously, it's only going to make the situation worse. If a player's in bad form and in bad confidence, having their own supporters shout at them isn't going to help the situation. It's only going to make it worse.
Don't you think that's down to one person? That's down to Michael Flynn.
Yeah.
If a player is taking abuse, getting shot at or whatever, Michael should be looking at that and saying, let's take him out the firing line. Pure example, Frank having a bad run, should have been taken out.
Yeah.
But as Michael's thinking, have I got the person there to take his place and do a better job? And that's how it's been all season.
Yeah.
But we can't knock what we've achieved this season.
No, absolutely not.
And still can.
Say we're starting at a time now, Phil. Let's run through who we hope is going to start today and predictions on the game then. So obviously Joe Day for goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Pipey's going to be back, but I'd like to see a back four of Pipe, White, Demetriou and Butler.
Now, I would have make one change there.
Yeah.
And bring in Mark O'Brien.
Fair point.
Who do I drop? Oh, tough one.
Yeah.
Tough one.
It's a good job. It's a good job. It's on Flynny's head. This one is.
He's got to play in the middle, so it would have to be Ben White.
Really?
Yeah.
I say his form of him been great of late. Young lad, maybe he could use dropping for a game or two.
Not what I'd want White to be dropped, but if you're going to play O'Brien between the two at this present time, I'd play O'Brien.
Or would you look away from home at a back three then?
Possibly.
3 centre backs.
I would imagine you're going to go 4-4-2 today.
I'd say 4-4-2 or maybe 4-3-3. I'd like to see a 3-man central midfield. I'd like to say Tozer, Sheehan, and not quite so much Bennett, because I feel as though we're playing a little bit too defensive.
Bennett can't play, he's out for the...
Bennett's out. Bennett's out injured, yep, sorry, completely forgot about that. So I'd like to see Sheehan play. I'd like to see Tozer and Dolan. I think they'll complement each other pretty well. Tozer's capable, he's quite orthodox.
If he's playing 3, if he's playing 4, I'd put Wilmot into that. But
then I'd see Wilmot as a right wing. Inside forward.
I'd like to see Tomo Evans being given the game.
Yeah, Tomo and Evans. Obviously, I feel like he'd never really done anything wrong. So, well, I think he had a poor game against Morecambe away, didn't he, earlier in the season, and he's struggled to get back into the frame since then. But then up front, then Amon's got to be in the centre, in my opinion. I'd like to see Aaron Collins get given a go, but I think it's going to be Amon, Wilmot, and then more than likely Newbley will be restored to the team. But although I would like to see Jackson get a go today, I've just got a feeling something's going to give with him.
Yeah, 2 up front. I would go with Armand and McCluskey.
Mikulski, of course. Yeah,
but if it was 3 up front, I'd play Frank as well.
Right. Okay. So, score prediction then. What do you reckon?
I am quietly confident. We need this more than anything today, and I reckon we're gonna win 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
I'm thinking 3-1 Kindy today. I don't know if the girls in the back want to come forward and give their prediction, or they're going to be shy and hide. Okay, there's your answer for that one then, guys. So that's the thoughts from Taff and the Ashcrofts. So
come on the port.
That's the way. That's the spirit. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Leave us a cheeky like, share the video around, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thanks very much, guys.
Don't get hammering me, please.
Nah, Phil, you've spoken well, mate. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. See you at the game.